Alright.
Yo, what's going on?
Top
We're
of the
back.
morning cast to you.
We're back. It's the
This,
podcast. It's
we're
9-8.
we're recording this. It's early. We're both
It
really
is.
tired.
Yeah. It's 9:18, 9:19 now, AM, which for some people may not be early, but for us it is. We're both tired, but we want to do this podcast. We want to do a morning cast. Originally, it was supposed to be a different type of cast, but I don't want to spoil that just in case we do it in the future. So it's not going to be that type of cast.
We'll do it when I'm back in
Yeah.
Florida.
So, I'm Ricky Boynton. This is
He
the
is.
Ballad of Ricky Boynton, and I'm here with, what's your name?
I am the man, the plan, the boy tan. Zack Boytan.
Okay.
And this is the shit, what do we call this again?
I don't know.
Alright, whatever. This is the podcast. Thanks for listening. Let's get started.
So what's up, Zach? How's Twitter?
Twitter is very Japanese. This is what happens when you wake up early in the morning before everyone in the English-speaking world has woken up. Everything on Twitter is just Japanese.
I can't win. My Twitter starts speaking Japanese.
It's literally like I've been scrolling for a very long time and there are no English tweets.
That's pretty funny. I haven't gone on Twitter yet today. I think my favorite Twitter has become Endless Jess. Like, his tweets are so good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
The thing is, I use Twitter for all my, like, pretty much all my news. So, like about things going on in the world and stuff. So, like, when I, like, read the news, it's always nice to just see all these, like news articles, headlines and stuff, and then all of a sudden see, like, Jesse Wood tweet, I like Sody Pop or something like that.
Twitter's such a shitty source for news. Like, I use the site purely for entertainment.
Yeah, like, I follow, because I don't want to, like, you know what I mean, like, I follow, like, a bunch of different, like, newspapers and online news sites, because, like, I don't want to have to go and, like, go to the website itself and check every day. It's so much easier to just have everything at one place, kind of. So it's just all the people I follow on YouTube and stuff, as well as, like, all the news, like, intermingled into one place of information.
I get it, yeah.
Yeah. And it's probably, like, my most common used app for that reason. And
I really started using Twitter, like, recently. I mean, I've had my account for, like, 7 years or something.
yeah, I think I made my account because I was forced to for camp in, like, 2013. And then I stopped I didn't use it for that whole year, and then when I started using it at camp again in 2014, I didn't stop. So, that's my Twitter story.
Mine's from 2009, so, yeah, 7 years.
Mine's 2013, except if you find the elusive old Twitter, I like to call it. You've seen this, right, Zach?
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
Is Juliet's Twitter description still my a quote from that Twitter?
Let me check.
I don't know, but yeah, it's Twitter. It's cool. It's cool, hip, and trite.
That's what I've been saying, Josh.
I started watching the new Mega 64 podcast. I didn't finish it.
Me neither.
It was pretty funny so far.
It's the one with Frank and Justin Rojas, right?
Yeah. Dragon Ball AF could be real.
Oh,
Did
man.
you get that far?
No.
Ah, shit. Whatever. I'm not going to steal their stories. I'm not going to tell the Dragon Ball AF story. So
Dragon Ball AF.
Yeah. Let's get into our topics. Do you have anything you want to talk about?
No, I didn't write down.
Because I have a list of, like, 6 topics. They're probably short topics, but I just thought of them last night, so
I do have
guess
something we can talk about, though.
Sure. What is it?
So, a very beloved channel stopped posting a couple days ago. And
Giva?
Siva Gunner, aka Giva Sunner, released a new album, and I stopped posting. They posted Good Night, and they posted Last Goodbye, which was one of the last videos on the last channel before it got shut down. And then they posted Good Night.
Yeah. So, does that mean, like, is he shutting himself down?
I actually don't think.
What if he is? What if the joke is that he just keeps on shutting his own channel down and, like, making a new one every time? That'd be hilarious. But yeah, have we talked about Siva Gunner in the past? I assume we have.
Of course we have. We have to have.
Go check out his high quality video game rips.
Yeah.
They're good. I started going through the first album finally because there's like 250 rips on it. So like I have to go because if I don't go through it and eliminate stuff, it will be like over half of my shuffle. It'll be a disaster. So I have to go through and like eliminate. So I got like about halfway through the album going through and eliminate it. So
yeah, mashups like that are now like probably over half of my music library.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I normally shuffle through playlists anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, I've been until I finish going through the album. I've been using my Israel playlist because except for recent albums, that's like all of my albums except for Giva, except for like about 3 or 4 albums I added recently. So I've been using that until I finish Giva's album. Did you see what was it called? The album announcement video?
The
with Weird Al. It was so good.
That was wonderful.
I was like dying.
Of the part where Weird Al started playing Snow Halation.
And they just start playing really shitty versions of like their key songs. They're like near like what's the word? Like they're barely listenable versions of all the songs.
But like, and then the Flintstones version is really good.
Yeah.
But it's because that was in the original.
Oh, it wasn't the original?
Yeah, in the original
they
actually played the Flintstones.
That's hilarious. I haven't seen the original. I think I saw an announcement on the Supercon website. I think Weird Al is having a concert in like South Florida.
Yo.
So I wanna look into it. I don't know when it is. Actually, I'm gonna look it up right now. It's the luxury of doing an audio podcast. You don't have to see me looking up shit.
Not like.
I think Josh is actually going. Zach's brother.
Yeah. Tell me.
Because I told my dad that Weird Al was playing here. He's like, oh, I think your dad is taking Josh. Tour Weird Al Yankovic. I'd go see Weird Al. It's funny because like my Weird Al like sort of I don't know time I liked Weird Al. I liked him in middle school. Then I got like elitist about it and I was like, oh, it's dumb. I don't like Weird Al, he sucks. And then like recently, in like the past, I'd say year and a half, I've like regained love for Weird Al.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Miami, Lakeland, St. Augustine.
Miami's far.
Miami's like an hour away. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Honestly, it's worth it for a concert.
Not gonna be in Boston though.
Oh man. Is that Boston style?
So we keep warm in the car.
Okay, so other than musical parody geniuses like Giva Sunner and Weird Al Yankovic, let's see what else I have to talk about. I have to talk about something that pissed me the fuck off. Because it is just something that will never leave. And it's if you're not a One Piece fan, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm going to try to explain in my best terms. But I have a stigma now attached to me, and I can't get rid of it. So, might as well talk about it. So, if you're a One Piece fan, in the recent chapter, there's a character that we saw a photo of a couple of weeks ago. Now we finally get to meet her. Her name is Purin, and she's fine. We don't know much about her. She's pretty cool. Yeah, so she's pretty cool. We don't know much about her, right? So, I'm watching all these reviews. This was after it was before I uploaded mine. So I'm watching all these reviews, and they're talking about like, oh, this girl's back. She's finally back. We finally know who she is. And I'm like, oh, from the photo, right? They're like, no, from like 3 arcs ago, they showed this girl. I'm like, I have no memory of this, right? So I go on the wiki, and I look up when she was first introduced, and it says the chapter that I thought she was introduced in. So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay. So I ask in my review, comment below when she was actually introduced, because I don't remember her at all from before this. And no one comments, obviously, because no one watches it. Yeah. So, I don't know, right? So I upload my review, and she was like the main character of the chapter. She was like the main focus of the chapter. So I upload my review, I make her the icon, right? The next day, I get a really pissed message from Daniel, our friend Daniel, who he watches the show. He doesn't read the manga. He's like, thanks for spoiling One Piece for me. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you made the icon a spoiler. He's like, now I know this character comes back. I'm like, you've never met this character. He's like, yeah, I haven't. And I'm like, and he talks about that part that I do have no memory of. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, did I like miss an episode or a chapter or something? Like, what the fuck is going on? I have no memory of this, and it's not even on the wiki. Like, what is this shit? But
Good job. You spoiled
that's
an
my
episode
story.
for Daniel.
I spoiled that a character appears again in a show or in the manga. Whatever.
Unwatchable. Dropped.
Unwatchable now. Luffy is going to be in the next episode.
Oh, God, I can't watch the show anymore. I'm gonna drop it on my anime list.
So yeah, shouts out to One Piece for having a character that apparently was introduced before, and I don't remember her at all. But yeah, I didn't like the last chapter of One Piece. It was weird to me. It was like kind of off-putting. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it for that topic.
Thank you, Josh.
If you know what I'm talking about, if there's the very slight off chance you know what I'm talking about, and the very slight off chance that you're a viewer of this podcast, a listener.
Yeah, very off chance.
Please let me know who the fuck, when the fuck she was first introduced. Because I thought she was first introduced in the photograph a few weeks ago, and then she was actually introduced like in person in this chapter. So if that's not true, it's not true. And according to every fucking person except for me, it's not true. I don't think Code Provider remembered her either, because he didn't mention it. So shouts out to Code Provider. He's great.
Yeah, Code Provider is hilarious.
He's like a Mega 64 apprentice almost. It seems like he has that same style of humor and like talking.
Yeah, he's clearly inspired by Mega 64, and I don't know. I think he's pretty funny most of the time.
Did you like the what was it, the Aki Bento unboxing?
I was dying at the Aki Bento unboxing.
He was so sarcastic.
It was the most sarcastic unboxing.
It's such a
I've
shitty
ever
thing.
seen.
Shouts out to like boxed subscription services that are like really shitty. Like, before I actually saw people like actually unbox like these kind of things, I always wanted them, and now I have like just no desire for them. It's just like a bunch of like shitty stuff you get for free at a con.
Yeah.
Like at the front, just crammed into a box. It's like really shitty. There was one that was good. Was it like a Miku one? Didn't you get that one too?
I got it. It wasn't very good.
Well, yeah. When Digi unboxed it, looked pretty cool, I think. But other than that, it's just like I don't want any of this shit. I don't want a Saitama stress ball. The fuck wants that? Um, yeah. So yeah, and yeah.
Yeah. So
But what are you gonna do? I didn't get to the point that I started rewatching our old Halloween Horror Night 2015 vlog on Zach's recommendation. I didn't get to the scene that you said, but I don't remember that scene at all. But it sounds hilarious.
the part where you're just like alone with Juliet. You're like, I wonder where Alberto and friends are. And then Juliet just points behind you. You turn around, and Alberto runs up. And you go, no, 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 no.
The thing is, though, I don't like. See, the thing is, though, I don't remember it really, but all I know is that it was not planned. Like, I had no idea they were coming. Like, at
That's
that second.
interesting that you chose to film right at that moment.
Yeah, no, and then a similar thing happened to where it was in the beach episode where we're in my room. Alberto like went back to his house, and I guess we're in my room and I start vlogging. No, I went to the bathroom and then I come back and I start vlogging, talking like, so Alberto's in his house, and then right there, like I'm like, so Alberto went back to his house to go do something, and all of a sudden he jumps in and goes boo, and we all go ah, and we had no idea he was there. He came back the second I decided to start filming. Vlog memories. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what other topics did I have prepared? Guess I could talk about this. So, other than VHS, I don't consider myself like a collector of like any particular medium. I kind of just like things in general, so I buy things that interest me. So I do have a lot of DVDs, I do have a lot of comic books and stuff like that. But I wouldn't consider myself, oh, I collect comic books or I collect DVDs. You know what I mean?
You collect DVDs.
Yeah, I guess. But do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I guess.
What the
I guess I
point
know
of
what you
getting
mean.
across? Yeah. But so when it got to the point where I can no longer fit the amount of comic books I have in the area that I've always been storing my comic books, it got to that point where I'm like, how many do I have? And I realized I like haven't read like probably 60% of the comic books I own. So I've decided I'm gonna go start reading all the comic books I own so I can make like all these purchases worthwhile. And I read about 5 yesterday, and I read about like 1 this morning, and I'm enjoying it. It's pretty cool. It's sort of like revitalizing my interest in comics. And it like reminds me of the reason why I bought these comics and why I buy comics in the first place. Pretty cool. Yeah, comics are great. Shouts out to comics. I thought this point would get more leverage. I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't really like comics. I have a couple. I don't really read them.
I like comics a lot. Like I like not comics and like I don't mean like just comics. Like fuck. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I mean like I don't know. I like the medium because I like the idea of having like sort of a readable story and visuals to come with it that isn't like a children's picture book. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I like manga a lot more than, like, although I watch more anime than I read manga, I do like manga more than I like anime. Like, I like the process of reading manga, and I think same goes for comics and graphic novels. Like, it's much easier to sit down and read a graphic novel than a novel, like a regular novel, and it's usually, for the most part, just as, like, dense in terms of story and stuff. So, I really like comics. I've been reading a lot. It's good. I think Digi has been reading a lot recently, too, and that might be what I've revitalized my interest. I don't know. Fuck comics.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck comics.
Speaking of comics, I'm going to tie this into my next point. I saw a recent comic book movie, X-Men Apocalypse. Um, X-Men Apocalypse. It was probably like my number two most hyped movie of the year, behind like the new Star Wars Rogue One, which is coming out in December. But
I'm so
yeah,
excited for that.
no, you're not.
I'm not. You're right.
It's not main series. It's a spin-off, and it looks really cool. Um, yeah, but I saw X-Men Apocalypse. I'm a huge X-Men fan. In my opinion, I think like I do like. I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoy superhero movies. I want to be a hero. I want to be a fucking hero. But yeah, I really enjoy superhero movies. It's kind of like one of my things. Like, pretty much as long as it's not shit, I'm gonna enjoy it if it's a superhero movie. However, I feel like in terms of like superhero movie franchises, X-Men is like the only one that sort of goes above that. Oh, I like it because it's a superhero movie kind of thing. It goes above it to be like one of my favorite movie series, I guess, in a way, because it's like, I don't know if you've seen any X-Men movies, Zach, but
I have not.
I think what X-Men manages to do so much better than like a regular superhero movie is make you care about all the characters and like care about what happens to them, because they're not like treated like superheroes in the story. They're treated like fucking people that happen to have like abilities, kind
They're
of.
they're mutants, right?
Yeah, they're mutants, and they're pretty much, instead of being the hero that saves the day, which they do obviously save the day sometimes. Like, obviously that's gonna happen, but like, instead of being the hero that saves the day, they're kind of treated like shit, and everyone hates them, but they still do it anyway. And yeah, and X-Men's great. I pretty much own every good X-Men movie. So I was really hyped for X-Men Apocalypse. And I have to say, I want to see it again, probably, but I don't know when I'm going to. I want to see it again before I want to write like a review, but like I want to see it again because although I would say overall it was good and I enjoyed it, I did have a lot of problems, and it was kind of very messy. Especially which is funny because the last one was the time travel one, and that one was like a 10 out of 10 movie in my opinion.
Somehow.
Somehow they made the time travel X-Men movie like the best one in the series, and yet managed to make the one that just stays in one time have a lot more problems. Like, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who was planning on seeing it, having seen it, but let's just say towards the middle of the movie, if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a scene where a certain character comes and then just leaves. And there was no reason why they should have been there, why they came there in the timeline of the series, because this is, like, in the timeline, even though this is technically the new timeline after the whole timeline split thing in the last movie, it still makes absolutely no sense why this character was there. They show up for a minute, do not have a single line, and then leave. It's like, what the fuck?
Cameos.
It's like cameos. Like, okay, it's a character that's a lot of people like, but like, why the fuck were you there? You're not supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Like, just wait. Like, calm yourself. Wait till the next movie. God damn it. It was kind of pissed me off, that scene. And there was just a lot of other, like, sloppy kind of stuff. Like, so pretty much, the backstory of the movie, you see this in the trailer, so it's not spoilers, is Apocalypse, who was he names himself Apocalypse, he's not actually called Apocalypse, obviously. He's the first mutant in history, and he's able to transfer his consciousness to different bodies, and he was trapped underground. Finally, he's back, and so pretty much he's manipulating people and doing shit. So he wants to get his sort of like a. So he wants to gather some like people to sort of assist him in transferring his body. But the people he gathers, like the only one that has. You see in the trailer who he gathers, so it's not spoilers. But the only one he gathers who has any sort of motive to join him is Magneto, because it makes perfect sense in the story why I would join it. But everyone else, it's just kind of like he shows up, doesn't explain much, and it's like join me, and they're like okay. It's like what the fuck? It's like you have no motivation to join this person. You've never met him until 5 minutes ago, and now you're gonna assist him in like killing people. Like
Wow, I fucking love superhero movies. Superhero movies are so funny and hilarious.
I think that's the thing that kind of pissed me off about this. I still like this movie, don't get me wrong, but the thing that kind of pissed me off about this movie is that for the first time, I'd say in the X-Men series at least, it had the problem of being too superhero-y, I'd say. And that's not... There are superheroes, obviously. They're all based on Marvel Comics. But I feel like the thing that X-Men did to stand out was not be that typical comic book movie and be that like movie that could stand on its own really well and one of my favorite movie series. And I feel like they resorted to like too much comic bookiness. Like they didn't give like I guess they're gonna develop some of them maybe in another movie, but like it was pretty like because this is sort of earlier in the timeline, we know that these people that, well, except for one, we know that all three of the four people that joined Apocalypse are going to become good again. So why not give them any motivation to join Apocalypse and then realize what they're doing is wrong? Like, why just make them just join? Like, you could have easily written in motivation. Like, it's just... I don't know. That was my biggest problems with the movie. But honestly, it still had a lot of good stuff, so I would still recommend seeing it. I want to see it again, so I can write a better review, but I was a little disappointed. Yeah.
I think superhero
go watch the other
movies,
X-Men movies, though.
I think superhero movies are fucking amazing, every single one of them. Just because they have superheroes in them, they're good. And, you know, they totally get me. And, like, I love seeing the same movie, you know, multiple times a year, every year.
Wise words from the
Because they're always good. And in the words of Tai Tai, I want to be a hero. So let me just draw these.
Go watch on YouTube. I want to be a hero.
No,
is that what it's called?
It's called Hero.
Hero by On Your Computer. That's the channel.
That pretty much sums up everything about superhero movies.
That video is so good.
Because it exactly represents you, right?
Yeah, it's me. But I hope the point that I tried to get across is that X-Men is better than this, and it kind of like wasted its potential in this movie.
But it doesn't matter because you like other superhero movies anyway.
I do. But X-Men is my favorite.
You like fucking Avengers, and that's like the most like generic, pandering, like big money movie.
Hey, Civil War was good. My favorite scene was when Abraham Lincoln said, "You're pardoned," to Captain America.
Did that fucking happen?
Yes.
I'm done.
I'm literally quoting Rocco.
The thing about like Avengers and stuff is that it's so like generic, and it can't be like offensive at all because they make so much money from it. So they never like take any risks or anything. So it's exactly like what you expect it to be every time for the whole thing, and it's just
I could definitely see like I could definitely see what you're saying, like 100%. Like, spoilers: Captain America doesn't fucking die at the end of Civil War when he clearly should have. In terms of, like, not just because he did it in the comic, because, like, the narrative, like, it was perfect for him in the narrative. Like, it was set it up so well. It would have fit perfectly You know what I mean? And then they just didn't do it because they didn't have the balls to do it. It was like kind of pissed me off. Like it was just like, and I feel like that's a perfect example of what you're saying. How they're like too afraid to kind of take risks.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's what I liked about X-Men. They were never afraid to take risks. They always did what they wanted to, especially since it's not the movie properties are not owned by Marvel, who's also owned by Disney. They're owned by Fox, and they're not afraid to like make it darker and not. I mean, I don't mean darker like in the cheesy way. I mean like have better, stronger themes and sort of take risks in the story. And I feel like I don't know if they're trying to become more like Marvel, but they kind of sort of tried to make like a Marvel-y kind of movie with the last one, and it kind of was annoying. But and I'm not saying I don't like Marvel movies because I like all the Avengers movies. I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely see your side of the argument. They're not the like people. Some people say they're like the greatest movies of all time. And I don't think that. I say they're enjoyable. That's my thing. I enjoy.
They're not even enjoyable.
Well, for me, they are. I enjoy all of them.
I regret spending that money to see them because like I
I
watched
wouldn't say
them
I
and
know.
it was like oh that was fun, but I got literally nothing out of it. I think about these movies like I can remember what happened in them, and I've seen Avengers like 3 times, and it just literally it gave me absolutely nothing. I learned nothing from it. I feel nothing different after watching it. And that's gonna be it.
I feel like here's my main problem with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and why I prefer the X-Men Cinematic Universe, and a lot of people don't get that. And here's why. Because with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the movies, there's no, like, bad movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's no, like, movie that's like, oh, this is shit. Like, it's not, like that. But the thing that bugs me, especially in the recent movies, is that they sort of instead of trying to make the best movie possible, they make a that was pretty good movie or that was good movie, but sort of they're more obsessed with like making it part of a bigger universe and a bigger story than actually making it like because
Entertaining.
they have the potential to make it from a good movie or a great movie to an amazing movie. But I'd say the only time, and I don't even think I'd say the only time Marvel Cinematic Universe had really tried to do this was Guardians of the Galaxy, and I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was the best
alright.
one. I thought honestly Guardians of the Galaxy was my favorite out of the Cinematic Universe. I thought it
I'm
was
I'm pretty
great.
sure it was because it didn't try to connect to anything else, and it
It
wasn't
it
like
did. It did, but it wasn't as like in your face. Like you could easily see Guardians of the Galaxy without seeing anything else. But like
it
they
also
did try to connect it,
wasn't.
but they sort of focused on making a standalone story, which worked better.
To be fair, Guardians of the Galaxy isn't really a superhero movie. No one in it is a superhero.
That's true. It's the thing I'm trying to like. It's part of the universe though.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that's why the X Men universe ends up being so good. Because up until this movie, which was kind of the reason why I was a little disappointed. Up until this new movie, X Men Apocalypse, you didn't really need to see any of the other movies to see any of the X Men movies. I mean, obviously it connects because it's in the same series, but in Days of Future Past, they rebooted it. Like they split the timelines, so you don't even need to see any of the other first timeline movies. So it's like I like what they're doing to try to avoid becoming like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I guess. Anyway, I'm hyped for Avengers Infinity War. Who's hyped?
I'm not.
Yeah. Um, yeah. It's Marvel, baby.
It's Marvel, baby. East
And
Coast
this
Philly,
goes
where
back
you at?
to...
Oh, 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 oh.
Now to
Make
see
it
the Grape
rain.
Lady. The Grape Lady. Oh.
Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, shit, what was I gonna say? And this goes back to like for years. I was like, when are they gonna make a Teen Titans movie? When are they gonna make a Teen Titans movie? Now I'm like, fuck, don't make a Teen Titans movie.
It'll
Never
just be
make it.
bad. They already made
Because
the show.
the show is perfect.
The show
It is a
yeah.
perfect show. It is develops all the characters amazingly. It tells individual stories each episode while telling an overall narrative in the background. All the characters are great, develop really well, and if you made a movie, it would just ruin it.
I agree.
In my opinion, I feel like Teen Titans is the show is the only adaptation where I think the show surpasses the source material. I'd say. Like, I definitely prefer the show to the comics, even though I do love the comics.
They did make a movie actually, and it wasn't very good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Teen Titans: Trouble in Tokyo.
Yeah, Big Hero 6.
I've seen it like 100 times because. Oh, Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Big Hero 6. If you haven't seen it, it's the Teen Titans movie.
It fucking
Yeah.
sucked. Don't
Fuck
watch
Big
it.
Hero 6, man. It's such a trick. It's such a trap. And the thing is, though,
You liked
you
it.
saw me. You saw me being a sucker to it. I'm not gonna admit that when I came out of the movie, I was like, that was awesome. That was great. It's because of how they manipulate you.
Yeah, it's
Like, if you go back and watch it now, it's bad.
it's like the
it's
most
bad.
generic, like the most generic like super like friend superhero movie where like nothing happens and the characters pretty much don't do anything, and then a character you don't care about like dies, and everyone's sad, so you think you're supposed to be sad, and it's like, oh, everyone's happy again, so now I'm happy again. Oh, that was really good. And they trick you into thinking it was a good movie when it was not.
You're right. And you want to watch a good Big Hero 6 story? Go watch the Teen Titans TV series.
Teen Titans.
Big Hero 6, but good.
I agree.
Big Hero 6, I mean, fuck it. Teen Titans is, I think, the pinnacle of comic book adaptations. Simply because it is an adaptation of a comic book series. However, it still is it does enough different to where it's its own unique story. It's not just, oh, let's just do this just so we have references and this. It's like, it's one of those things where, like, I grew up, I never even heard of the comic books, and it was probably my favorite show growing up. And
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite shows now.
Watching it, I had no idea it was even based on any comic books. Or that it was based on anything.
And it's so good. And I love how they, like, didn't try to connect it to the rest of the DC universe. Like, you never once see the Justice League.
You see
never
Batman.
once. Do you see Batman?
Well, I think it shows bats and like a figure.
Yeah. Yeah, like, they never once, like, really, like, they never talk to Batman or anything. They never show the rest of the Justice League. They never show, like any other DC. They don't use villains from other, like, properties. And
Well, is Slade from?
well, Slade was originally from Teen Titans.
Oh,
he was in
alright.
other stuff later, but that was when he was introduced, so that works. Slade and Trigon, I think the Justice League sometimes fights him, but, like, he was introduced in Teen Titans.
Who's Trigon?
So, Raven's father.
Oh.
Yeah, so like, they don't, like, piggyback off of the rest of they could have easily piggybacked off the rest of their shit, but they don't.
It would have
They
been a bad
make
show
it
then.
they make it like good. They make it their own good thing.
I agree.
It's DC, baby.
We've been talking about superheroes for like,
Fuck, I can't talk about superheroes anymore.
yeah.
Never
I don't-
again.
I never want to
Sky
talk about
High.
superheroes
It's a great
again.
movie.
You got anything else to think about, speak about?
I do. I finished an
Tell
anime.
me what it is, baby.
I finished an anime this week.
What anime, Josh?
Finished Fate Zero.
How was it, Josh?
It was okay. Not great. It should have been great. But, like, I don't know what it was about it. Like, just looking at the show from it, if someone told me about the show and showed me the animation, I would be like, oh, that's going to be my new favorite show. Like, just told me the premise. Because it's such a good premise. And it has, in my opinion, the greatest animation of all time. And
Really?
have you seen it?
No.
Yeah, it's literally, I'd say it's the best animation I've ever seen. And so, with such a good story and such, like, the way they sort of combine his, like, mythological and historical figures in there too, which I like a sucker for. By every means, it should have been, like, an amazing show to me. And I don't know, I just didn't like it. And I still haven't been able to fully, like, define why exactly I didn't. And I think maybe it comes down to the characters. I'm not sure. Because all of the characters in this show are terrible people. You don't like any of them. And the thing is, like, that sometimes works for a show, but for here, in a show where you kind of want to root for someone and there's no one to root for, it's just like you don't care anymore because you don't care who wins. You know what I mean? Because it's a contest. And it's like,
You don't care about
when you don't like
King Arthur?
when you don't like anyone, you just kind of, like, sort of don't care what happens. And yeah, it's just and it's that all the characters are well developed, but not as characters. It's like each character is sort of an ideal. Like, they each represent an ideal, and it makes it, like, the show makes it, like, rubs it in your fucking face that these characters are this ideal, but not humans. You know what I mean? Like, they're not people. They're just that ideal. And it's just like, ugh.
That sounds boring.
It's very boring. The music is amazing, though. Like, I don't know. It just, and I'm in the extreme minority here, like, in terms of not liking the show that much, because most people who watch this show give it, like, a 9 or a 10 out of 10. That's, like, the average rating. I gave it a 6. And the thing is, like, by every mean, I should have liked it. I just didn't. I don't know why. I mean, Digi gave it a 9. Like, honestly, I wouldn't say don't go watch it to people, because, like, Zach, I know you won't like it, but I'd say, I wouldn't say don't go watch it to people, because most people seem to love it, so I'm in the minority. But yeah. What do you think?
I think what happened to Saber was a tragedy, and Guru Gamesh needs to pay the price.
That's correct.
So I also started watching the show, and it's actually a good show. Surprisingly, it's been a while since I watched.
What is it?
It's Samurai Champloo.
I thought you just watched Stay Standing.
Oh yeah, Space Dandy was good. I was talking
Yeah.
about Love Live when I said I haven't watched a good show in a while.
Todokacha.
So,
Setsuwa Saiwa.
but that show, even though it's not very good, has had such a profound impact on me.
Okay.
And yeah, but Samurai Champloo is pretty good so far. Obviously, it's a pretty like famous show, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've wanted to watch it for a while. I still haven't watched it. It's good.
It's good so far.
It's not over yet.
It
like it
is
so
not
far.
over yet. You're correct.
Yeah. I've literally heard it's just Cowboy Bebop in, like, Edo, Japan. That's the description I've heard.
I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop yet, so
That's probably a good thing that you're watching this before Cowboy Bebop, because everyone says, oh, Samurai Champloo is great, but it's not as good as Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, so we'll
So
watch
if
the
you
one
watch this
that's
first, you'll love it.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
Cowboy Bebop will be even better.
I've already seen Cowboy Bebop. It's amazing. It's so good. Yeah.
So the
Cowboy
end,
Bebop.
yeah.
So yeah, I was actually gonna say something and I forgot. Fuck. What else do I have on my list? I have one more thing on my list here. Today is sort of. I don't want to phrase it this way. Never mind. Tomorrow I start work. Well, it's unpaid work. It's an internship.
Wait, you started on a Friday?
Orientation is on Friday, then I start actual work Monday.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be working for the summer at a online media network known as Foodable.
Foodable just uploaded a video this morning. It still has no
I'm
views.
subscribed. Seriously, let me see it. That's hilarious. Maybe I can help him get views with my channel.
Yeah.
This
NRA.
podcast can get them so many views. But yeah, so I'm gonna start working there tomorrow.
Oh my God, Josh.
What?
Josh, have you seen? Well, you haven't seen this video because it has no views. But guess where they're at?
Looking it up.
Guess,
It's on their channel.
Yeah,
YouTube
just guess
channel?
where the Foodable crew is at.
I'm looking it up. Broadening food safety culture. Where are they at?
Yeah.
Should I click it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna click it. It's loud. Fuck. I'm gonna fast forward to it. And then let's see where they're at. I can't tell yet.
Josh.
Oh,
They're at a fucking food convention.
they're at Miami Airport.
Is it Miami Airport?
I think so. Look at the carpet.
There's no carpet in Miami Airport.
On the second floor.
They're not on the second floor. Look at the ceiling.
Okay, so are they at FoodCon?
They are at a food convention.
Oh, I'm hyped. Now I'm actually hyped to work there.
What if you go?
I'm hoping they bring in food and shit. That'll be awesome.
They have to. Right? What else are you gonna write about?
Yeah, food safety.
Pizza safety.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, pizza safety. Yeah, so I'm gonna be working there. Go subscribe to their YouTube channel. Go to their website. It's pretty cool. I'm plugging them even.
I'm gonna like everything you upload. I'm gonna be like, wow, we have a fan.
I don't know if I'm gonna be uploading. So my official title is editorial editor. And I don't know if that means I'm writing editorials, or does that mean I'm editing stuff. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow, and I'll tell you on the next podcast. But yeah, I'm kind of hyped because it's something to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I love food, so it's cool to work in a place that makes videos about food.
Are you gonna drive down there every day?
Yep. And then in July, they are moving 20 minutes farther. So it's going to go from like 40 minutes to an hour drive in July. It's going to suck.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, but what are you gonna do?
Did I have any other topics? Let me see. I wrote Goodwill. I assume that means talk about the new Goodwill. Did I already talk about the new Goodwill?
I think so.
Okay, then I'm not going to talk about it again. Goodwill's good.
Goodwill's great. I want to check out the new location.
They have a lot of stuff. I always have to end up putting stuff back and limiting it.
Yeah, I'm coming home in like this month.
I'm so hyped.
I can't believe I can't believe this. Like it's almost over. Like I have to come back to Florida now.
Get ready for the best Wi-Fi you've ever tasted.
No, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with like 3 months of just shitty Wi-Fi.
Does your dad have shitty Wi-Fi?
It's pretty inconsistent.
My Wi-Fi yesterday, it pulled a Jesse Wood and just stopped.
It just gave up.
It just gave up. I feel like I just imagine like a guy on like a treadmill inside my computer just really going at it, like really sweating, then slowing down, getting really exhausted, and then just like falling off the treadmill and then stopping. That's how I imagine my internet.
That is
Like
how
I just
computers
imagine
work.
UF's internet, like which was like instant. It's just this giant buff guy, like easily having no problem with treadmill. My internet's just this like obese man, like struggling to stay on the treadmill. That's my internet. That's my analogy.
That is correct. That is how computers operate.
Yeah, it's so bad. My internet is so bad. Free me from this hell.
I'm in hell. Ah!
Can we just start screaming in the middle of the con? I feel like
Yes.
people think things wrong though if we just start screaming.
That's
You
I
know what
think
I
that's
mean?
why I couldn't do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I do want to do stuff like dance in the middle of the crowd. That'd be hilarious. Yeah. My internet's terrible. But when you come down, we got a lot to do. We could record the podcast in person for one thing.
Yes.
And two, I'm gonna be working during the day, but I'm working from 9 to 3 on each day. So by the time I get home, it'll probably be like 4.
You can always stop by on the way.
Yeah, so it won't be bad. It'll be good. So we can hang out definitely. Cause I'm done at 3, so it's like if I'm done at 3, we could definitely hang out on the weekdays and the weekends. It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
I'm so hyped for SuperCon. Like I've never been more hyped for a con in my entire life.
Yeah, SuperCon's gonna be fucking fun.
Crazy. It's gonna be wild. We were just talking about it. When was the last time it was just us going to a con? I mean, Josh is gonna be there, but I assume he's gonna go with his. You know what I mean? Go off with his friends.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's gonna be
I
fun.
still remember the last anime. Like he was there with his friends, and I assume he was holding them hostage. Because the second we got there, we were like, "Can we go now?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "They're like, thank God," and they just left. So I assume he took like non-nerdy friends because he didn't have anyone to go with. What do you think?
I agree. I think what happened to Josh's friends is a tragedy. And
When we say Josh, and it's not me, it's Zach's brother.
and Kelly has to pay the price.
Oh, should I talk about that thing I got stuck in?
You what? Oh, I don't
So
know.
my dad drops me off at my sister had soccer practice till like 9:30. So if I wanted to go home early, I don't remember why I was out there to begin with, but there was some reason why I was out there. So he's like, if you want to go home early, you have to go meet up with your mom and then go home. So I went to FAU, and my mom's like, so I knew my mom was in this thing, so I'm like, oh, I'm just waiting at the front, and just come when you get out, right? And she's like, oh no, just come in. Just come in. So I assume when she says, oh no, just come in, it means that she's wrapping up, maybe talking to some people and getting ready to go. You know what I mean, right? So that we can go through the back to the parking lot, right? Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
I get
You
what
get
you're
what I'm
saying.
hypothesizing?
Wait, hold on. Where was this?
This was in the same place we were inducted to that honor society.
Really? In just one of those rooms?
Yeah,
All
same
right.
room.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so I go over there. I go in. They're still talking. I sit down, and they continue to talk for the next 45 minutes. And it was literally just like them like screaming at me, calling me a traitor, and then like showing pictures of the kids who weren't traitors. No one understands this except for like me and you and Alberto, pretty much, and Juliet.
Taylor.
Taylor,
Well, she's not.
She's not a traitor. She's not. She's a loyalist.
She died today while at Trader Joe's.
Do
you know where that's from?
No.
That's from Rocco's last video posted on this channel. You know the one with like the close-up of Rocco's face? It's like, he died today while shopping at Trader Joe's. And then Movie Maker transitions into a picture of him with some cosplayers, and it says R.I.T.
Oh my god. But yeah, so like pretty much how our high school worked, I guess I'll explain it, is that it was, you did your, well, Zach didn't have to because he came in later, but you do your first year at a normal high school, and then you go on to just go to college at the local college, which for us is Florida Atlantic University. And you do the next 3 years just as a college student, getting high school credits at the same time. Like, you just, the college classes give you high school credits, right? So, they had this mentality while we were there, but it's sort of enhanced after we left, where they wanted people to stay and complete their undergraduate and graduate degrees at FAU. And it was a little bit there. I'd say it was definitely there when we were there, but it wasn't to an extreme. Like, they weren't, like, very, like, pushy about it, you know what I mean? Like, they were just kind of like, oh, okay, that's what we would like, but you don't have to. They did it subliminally, almost like they would fuck up your paperwork and stuff if you were going to another school, and, like, they wouldn't help you as quickly, and they wouldn't respond to your emails until, like, a week later. So they did it, like, very subliminally. Like, they did it very subliminally, but now it's very, like, they're very open about it. Like, they just had a whole meeting, like, where I sat through last 45 minutes of it, where it was literally just, like, bashing the traitors and, like, honoring the people who stayed. Like, I was pretty much saying, these are all the opportunities you'll get if you stay, so don't leave.
Did he say anything about me?
No, he did not say anything about you. He switched to a slide where it was, like, these, like, students from our year that were, like, the best students, and it was everyone you would expect to be on that slide. I don't know about you because you didn't know anyone, but like, you know what I mean. Like, for me, like, it was like literally we could predict that slide before it changed. Like, it was literally just, it was like the people who stayed at FAU that like did all this crazy shit and stuff, and you could just tell it's them. Like, it's just like, yeah.
I'm gonna assume Taylor was not on that.
She was not. And I never expected her to be.
Exactly.
But yeah, I need to see Taylor at some point. I haven't seen her yet. I haven't even talked to her yet. I haven't talked to her since like January.
We should get a study room with her.
Yep. Yeah, so I need to see her. I think I'm seeing Juliet today. Like, originally we were supposed to get, when I was going to FAU, we were supposed to get lunch, so I decided I'm not going to FAU because it's fucking dumb. And then I was like, okay, so do you want to just get lunch at, like, Delray Marketplace? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay. And so we originally had plans for 12:30. She's like, oh, it's going to have to be a little late. I'm like, okay, so you want to just do it, like, 1 then? She's like, can we do it, like, 4:30? And I'm like, we could do dinner.
Wait, is this Taylor or Juliet?
Juliet.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, we could do dinner later. I'm like, I'm not going to wait till 4:30 to eat lunch.
I normally eat
so
lunch
I think we're
that
doing
time.
that. I think we're doing that.
Speaking of that, I still have to eat, like, my breakfast.
Me too. So, goodbye.
Yeah, peace. Alright, let me end mine.